Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this live stream session where you'll discover the power of cloud computing with Microsoft Azure. Introduction to Azure for Students. My name is Isabel. I'm an event planner for the Reactor, joining you live from Sydney, Australia. Before we begin, we have a quick housekeeping. Take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, please let's keep our comments respectful and constructive throughout the session. Drop your questions in the chat. We'll be checking throughout the session and answering live. Our session is being recorded and will be available to view on demand within 24 to 48 hours right here on the Reactor YouTube channel. I'm delighted to introduce our fantastic speaker, Mohammed. Mohammed is a passionate cloud engineer with a background in web development, dedicated to building and maintaining secure, scalable cloud infrastructures that empower applications. As a recent computer science graduate and a Gold Microsoft Learn student ambassador, Mohammed leads the Microsoft Learn student community's citywide chapter known as MLSA Karachi, connecting students and professionals in tech. With hands-on experience in IT support and cloud computing, he has organized impactful virtual and in-person training sessions, providing essential skills in cloud infrastructure, software development, and more. Without further ado, let's give a warm virtual round of applause to our incredible guest. Take it away, Mohammed.
So let's get started. Thank you for the warm welcome. And today we will be going to discuss about Azure for students. So uh, Isabel already gave my introduction. So yes, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm a cloud engineer, Microsoft for Startup expert, Microsoft MVP, Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and Microsoft certified as well. And currently leading the local community in Karachi. So So without any further delay, let's get started. And today agenda is very simple. That is also you can see from the title as well that we will be discussing about Azure for students. But first we will be discussing what is cloud computing, then why do we need cloud computing, then how to get started with Azure cloud and how to claim free Azure credits. That's the most important thing. And lastly, we will be seeing Azure in action. We'll be doing some hands-on. And yes, most important, we'll be sharing the learning resource at the end of this session. So, in today's, we all are listening AI. AI is everywhere, and machine is learning very hard nowadays. That sorry. So machine is learning very hard nowadays that its brain is getting much bigger every day, so it needs so how machine is maintaining that knowledge and continuously learning, because we are seeing recently there is a new AI model coming up with a lot of noise in the market that this is the best AI in the market. So similarly, this is happening. But have you ever thought um, uh, how AI is managing all of these things? Like what is happening at the back end? Like how machine is learning? Because in this picture, we are seeing machine is learning and reading a lot of stuff every day. Even getting training from our data as well and giving us the best responses. But in behind the scenes, you can see there is a cartoon of AI where it's getting some compute juice and have a lot of wires in his head and his brain is getting bigger. So that's the point, that it seems like it's going to explode. But can we manage this thing? Can we make our own model and without worrying that our model gets slow or take a lot of time in training? So is this possible? Like seems like difficult, but yes, it is possible. And to solve this thing, we have technology. Like everything, for every solution, we have technology there. So for the AI, who is the game changer, and it is the future of the world, and it's taking a lot of jobs. So to help the AI, we have another technology, and that is cloud computing. So Cloud computing sounds like very confusing sometimes, or feels like, is are we doing computing on the cloud by sitting on the clouds, or what is it like? This is the term that we heard a lot of time, but sometimes we got confused with the name, that maybe this is something that is very vast, or we can't learn about it, but this is something more interesting. And the best part, this is the backbone of the AI. So cloud is the behind the AI, and it's giving the enough power, storage, and all the required stuff for the AI to perform well and give you the better responses. So what is cloud computing? So the first question. So cloud computing is simply like a library. Here you can see students are studying in the library. So whenever you enter into the library, you can go sit and take out any book you want to read, and you can read that book till the library closes. So if the opening time is 9 a.m. and you can sit in the library till 5 p.m. and read as much as you can, and nobody will charge you. So that is the cloud. That is the cloud concept exactly. So cloud is just like a library. You went to the library and take out the book that you want to read. Just read it and read as much as you can. Similarly, use as much resource as you can. And once you are done, once you are done with your project, you are making some website and you want to make that website go live and want to share with your friends or want to submit your project, so you don't have to pay any charges on the specific duration that we will be discussing later, but that's the main concept. So whole cloud is working on the library model. So you are very surprised today that how cloud is working on the library. So we I explain the first aspect. So another aspect, you want to borrow a book from the library for a specific time period. So you go to the librarian and ask that I want to borrow this book. So there are some charges to borrow the book for the specific time period, and you say that after the 7 days or a week you will return the book. And if you don't return the book on the time, so you have to pay the fine on that book, that I don't return on the time, and you have to pay fine according to the delay, the how much days or delay you have to return that book. Or if you misplace that book, then again you have to pay the fine for the book. So similarly, that is the whole concept. Like similarly, you are borrowing book for a certain time, and if it goes above the time period, you pay as you go. So how interesting is it? Like you are going library from your school time, and now the whole process, it is implemented in the cloud concepts. So that is simple, it is. Uh, so we understand from the real world aspect that how cloud is working, how we can utilize the resources, and then let's see from the technical aspect, so how it is working. Okay, so here we discuss that it's all based on the library. So yes, so the last thing you can see here is a gigantic data center that have a lot of machines running, and a lot of stuff is running on this, and that is something similar to the uh, late previous computer as well. In the old age, sorry to say old age, but when the computer journey begins, or you can say when computers start getting into the market, so they are very gigantic in size. But in today's, so we don't have to manage the whole data center, or manage the uh, whole size computers. We have cloud as well. So here you can see, so what is the cloud? In short, it is a collection of gigantic data centers spread across the globe, and somebody else is taking care for you, and you just have to go and use the resource without worrying about the cost, electricity, whatever the things is involved. You just have to take out the resource and experiment and give it back. So yes, so let's move forward. move forward and see why do we need cloud computing. Because like if we go back, like in the initial days, or we can say when the computers start coming into the market, so we have such bigger computers. Like personal computers are very big, and it takes some time to boot up, and noise is coming out when it's booting up. This is the like initial days of the computer. Uh, so yes, so we have here data center, but again, why do we need cloud computing? We have computer for ourselves. We can have our own machine to run our applications. So why there is a need of cloud computing? So to understand the need of cloud computing, we have to understand the virtualization. So what is virtualization? So in today's world, we are everything is getting virtualized, and after COVID, so digitalize is the new trend. So when the concept, so the concept of virtualization is simple. If your resource, like you have a machine, and suddenly something happens, your CPUs start crash and it stop working, and your hard drive got corrupted or whatever the stuff, it stopped working. So in this case, if anything is running on your machine, you also lose that application that is running on that machine, or anything that is running on your machine. So that's where the virtualization begins. That is basically a layer between the hardware and the operating system. So basically, it separates the underlying hardware from the operating system. So the best part, whenever there is a hardware fault, or your hardware is not working, or you want to replace the hardware, so you don't need to, your application will not stop. You can simply replace your hardware without worrying that my application goes stop. So that's the concept of virtualization. And if we are managing these much machines in our home, so it get very difficult and it got costly. Like just think, you get an assignment of web development, and you need to deploy a website, and there is no cloud computing, so you have to buy some machine, and then you have to pay the electricity bill, and to make sure that the machine is placed at the right place, it is not heating up, and a lot of stuff. So that's the beauty of cloud computing. So it is basically, like, in simple words, like it is like rental service. Okay, just like we understand in the library example. So it is like a rental service. You can rent out the space, like space in computer words, you can say the computational power, the storage space over the internet without needing expensive hardware. So spoiler alert, it is also for the gamer as well. So if you are a gamer and you are thinking why we are taking this so much techie and technical session, so don't worry. After this session, you can play the game without worrying about your PC or your system. You can easily upgrade your system on cloud computing and create your own machine and play on the virtual machine your favorite game without worrying about the hardware, or without buying the expensive hardware. So we'll see how we can do this thing, but it make it easy to access and share information and work on projects with others and quickly set up application and services. So this is the best part. You don't need to buy anything. Like, you know that you just need the computer or the high specs computer for some projects, or you want to play a game but you don't have money to buy the high specs computer. So don't need to worry. At the end of the session, I will tell you each and every tip that how can you utilize cloud computing for your daily use as well, and for playing games as well. So that is something really interesting, that cloud is not about only the only about the corporate or the technical guys stuff. It is for the everyone, and it is making our life easy. So Now, the question is how to get started with Azure and claim free credits. So, the best part, a lot of queries coming up when I deliver this session in my local community. Like, if we add up our credit card details and we forget to close the resource, so we will get a bill. Yes, that's correct. But the beauty of Azure Cloud is you don't have to add your credit card details. You get the free credits on your student email address. You just need to add your student email address and it will verify and give you $200 credits on which you can easily experiment or run whatever service you want to run. So that's an amazing point of Azure that you don't need like you don't need to worry that if you forget to close any resource, so what will happen. So only thing happens is your credits got exhausted and then you cannot be able to use as you another resource. But the best part, uh, credits all the resources have free tiers. What do I mean by free tiers? So think of the library example. So if we are in the library uh, daily timings, so we don't have to pay for anything. So similarly, so free tier Azure gives 750 hours for free to use Azure virtual machine and for other service as well. So that's the beauty. Your credits are not going to exhaust, but use it wisely to experiment for a long time. So here we can see like Azure or the cloud is not only in AI app development, data science, machine learning. It is very much bigger than this. Like it can be used in helping businesses manage their finance, assist healthcare providers in delivering top quality patient care, or the most important thing, power online gaming platforms. So we are solving the problem of the gamers as well. So we'll show you how you can make your own machine and utilize the credits to run your most high performing game that you feel that is slow on your own computer. So you don't need to buy any other hardware stuff. We'll be showing you in a while how you can make your own machine and uh, make the resources up. Like you can add RAM up to the 16 GB, or you can increase the storage, or you can increase the computational power. And again, one more thing that is interesting in the Azure, that you can use Azure Red Hat operating system for free. That is again in the free tier with specific limit. But that's the beauty, that if you are want to explore the technologies or want to experiment with different operating system or want to see how AI is working, so that is all here in Azure. You don't need to go anywhere and to worry that my machine is slow. It's getting a lot of time in getting trains. You can utilize Azure. So let's see how you can claim the free credits. So moving to next slide. So if you search for Azure for students, so something similar will pop up in front of you. Build in the cloud free with Azure for students. So simply you can check the eligibility, and yes, you will get the 100 credits. But with 100 credits, you are getting other free services, like other services free for a certain time period. So you can simply go on Azure for students, you can check your eligibility, you can start free and just use your email to sign up on Azure. And with $100 credit to use in 12 months, you are getting a lot of free services. So these are few. There are a lot of more services than this. So don't worry, you have machine learning, you have Visual Studio, you have Linux virtual machines, but a lot more added now in the list. Okay, so I think we are good till now, and we see the whole cloud journey, or we can see we understand what is cloud and how it's working and how we can utilize cloud in our daily use. So let's see in action. Like So we will be going to see how Azure and GitHub Codespaces. So this is another amazing stuff. Sorry. So you don't need to worry if you don't have high spec laptop. If you have just a simple laptop with basic setup, that's all good for you guys. So if you want to follow with me on this with me, so that is good. And do let me know in the comment section who is following with me. So let's do some hands-on and get hands dirty with Azure and GitHub Codespaces. Okay, so here we have Azure portal open, and I already created one of the repository. So yes, previously we see that how we can claim the free credits and sign up. So after signing up, so Azure portal looks something similar to this. And these are some my recent resources that I have created. And if you are Microsoft Land Student Ambassador, so you will get $150 credits each month. Like it will renew every month. So you can do a lot with Azure. So let's see. Like, okay, so let's begin with the hands-on thing. So I just created a simple repository. So you can simply go on GitHub, sign up if you not sign up yet, and click on new repo. You just have to add your repository name and want the public repository or private repository, and then something similar when you click on create repo. So something similar will come in front of you. Then what you have to do? We have a repository ready. Then we have to click create repository. So yes, we want to create a new repository. So it might take a couple of minutes to set up our code spaces for our new project. So think of it like, so let's start this hands-on with a short scenario that I am a student. Okay, so I am a student who has to complete his assignment, and we are 30 minutes left to complete the assignments, and I don't know where to begin, how to do. I'm very new to the tech, and I am the first semester student. So I know that I have a repo. Then I click on the code services and something come up in my screen. But again, I want something more like that can help me while developing my project. Like I have no idea what I have to develop. So GitHub is loading in this place and it is setting up. So it will take few minutes. So it is setting up. But another thing that we have no idea what we have to build. So another amazing feature in front of you, we have GitHub Copilot. So let ask Copilot, okay, we want to develop a website. Okay, so let ask the Copilot, project for my assignment. So give me some ideas. Okay, so let's see what Copilot gave us. Okay, so all your problems is going to solve because GitHub Copilot is going to help us. So yes, sorry. So here are a few ideas and that is given by the GitHub Copilot, that you can create your personal portfolio website, e-commerce website, or to-do list, blog website, recipe sharing website. Like it's giving a lot, uh, a big list from which you can create a lot of stuff. Okay, but we don't have enough time to create everything from the scratch. So what we can do, like we are running like we have less time, but we have to complete the assignment. So what we do, hmm, so let's go on the repository first, and we have demo repo here. So this is the repository that we have created earlier. So we have two options now, that we can go directly on the code spaces and then start hunting if you have an idea what you want to make, like that uh, if you know what you want to do, so you have an option code to the code spaces directly, but it's not mandatory that you follow the step. It's totally up to you. But in our case, we are not sure what we have to do. So we simply come on repo. We have three options here: local code spaces. So we already launched code spaces that we use in a while, but we want something like boilerplate from where we can do further stuff. So let us to create a simple landing page. So yes, one more thing. uh, we can also ask to create a responsive landing page, because it happens a lot in the first semester. When we are in first semester, uh, it takes a lot of time in doing the css and the stuff to make the page responsive. But here we will say, and yes, the better the prompt is, the better will be the result. So let's write create responsive. Okay, so we write a prompt, create a responsive landing page on winter. And yes, we have to give a clear instructions using HTML and CSS. So we are uh, currently on the scenario that we have to do a first semester project that is on the web development, and we have just 30 minutes, so we have to complete. Oh, okay. So it's taking some time. Okay, so it will ask to sign in with GitHub. Okay, so Copilot workspace, sign in with with the GitHub, and then you have the whole idea. Okay, so Copilot workspace couldn't understand the intent of your task. Please check the automatically choose reference view references below. Okay, so just like you, like when teachers give you some task, you ask the questions. So here you can see it showing me some task suggested question, that if you write it in this way, I will give you a better response. So that's the amazing part of it. Or we can also continue anyway. But what should we do? What section should the landing page include? Okay, so here we can brainstorm our whole project. So we are seeing what section should the landing page include. So it's giving the section details, then details in sections, and then minimal sections. So I think this is good. This is a lot, but we'll ask it to generate plan for us. So first we brainstorm on GitHub Copilot workspace, and then here we can see that some changes or some plans are here. So here you can see a complete plan on some like on a few uh, in a prompt we get a whole plan. So we have the basic HTML file, style, and the readme. So now we have an plan, an idea from brainstorming, that how do I solve this task. So I think we are good to go. Then implement selected files, and the commits are done on the files. So you just have to give the prompt and to uh, give the clear instructions to the Copilot what you exactly looking for and how you want to shows like, or how you want like what which sections you want to add. So it do everything for you. Even the best part, it will also create the documentation side by side. So here we have four options. So we can create a pull request, create draft pull request, post to current branch. So yes, I'm working on my own GitHub repository, so I don't want to create a new branch or create a pull request. So if we click on post to current branch, so it will creates the branch by default. Like I says that push this code in my existing branch, or in directly push the code to my main repository. But uh, this is a new feature of GitHub. By mistake you cannot do the mistake. So if you click by mistake and it code goes in the production and it explodes. So that's the good feature of the GitHub, that if you are doing something with Copilot Workspace, so you can simply it will by default create a new branch for your code. So okay, push to new branch, then what will happen? Okay, so our pull request has been created. So let's see how it's look like. Okay, so here you can see it gives a proper title for our pull request, responsive landing page on Winter, that we give the initial prompt. So we can see the file changes here. So here is the README file that is about of the whole code repository. So here we can read what we have in our website, then we can review our code, and I think we are good to go. And simply write here good to go. Okay, so here you can see the my comment. Like if you are working in a group project and is your teacher is also added in your repository, or your there is a team lead, you want that everyone's look into the changes, then we push the code. So here you can see you can add the comments, or you can add any review that we can change some stuff, or we can make more changes. So we have more options here. Create a merge commit, but here we are seeing about the Copilot and the code spaces, so we'll not explore this option. But if you want, you can simply go on GitHub documentation and see what options are these and how these options can work. So we can simply create on merge pull request. And again, for the confirmation, do you really want to merge this pull request? So yes. Okay, so we are done. So here's the magic. So here you can see we have two branches, but once we merge the pull request, we can see the code in the main branch as well. So we have three files, and the changes that we are seeing in the uh, review section. So yes, we are good to go, but I want to see how my websites look like. So okay, Copilot is here, but where is my files? Let's refresh. Okay, so I'm refreshing the page. So the changes we make in the repository will reflect here. So yes, so it takes only couple of minutes in loading, depends on your internet connection. So it's loading, and we'll see once it's loaded completely, and we can also visualize our website. How does it looks like? Hmm, okay, so nothing is showing up. So nothing is showing up. because we have to relaunch our code spaces, because this is the code spaces code space when we have nothing in the repository and we do everything in the copilot. So when we created the repository we have nothing, so it's showing us blank. But let's see, uh here we can see is anything like refresh. Okay, we are seeing changes, initial commits. Here we can see the initial commits. Okay, so initial commit when we created the repo. So in this case you have to mm, delete this code spaces and create a new code spaces. Your code is not going anywhere. So this is this first thing, that if you start with the Copilot workspace, then create the code space. If you don't, then you will see the nothing in your code space. So no worries, we'll create another code space. So so it happens like uh, you make the mistakes and you learn from it. But the best part, that if you delete the code spaces nothing will be lost, and you can simply create the code spaces on the main, or you can create the code spaces on another branch as well. So in that way you can manage the environment as well, development environment or the production environment. So uh, that's totally up to you. If you don't want directly push changes into the main and everyone is working on their part, so that's the best part, that you can work independently on each part, and then once you are done you can merge all the components together. So so here you can see we have all three files that we have created initially. So it's still loading, and yes, so the website is created, but we want to see is the website is just like we want to be. So so I think we need uh, live debugger or live code to see our website live. So extensions are loading. We want live server, sorry. So it is just like the local server. So once it's installed, we'll be going live and see how our website is looking. So again, if you don't have the PC that is up to the mark or it is very slow, so you can use GitHub Codespaces with Azure. So as your part is left, so we are on time and we'll be seeing shortly how we can connect our application with Azure. Okay, so not bad, but it is very plain and nothing on the background. But let's see, is it responsive or not? Okay, we can see like this as well. Yes, it is responsive, but not as the mobile app responsive. But no worries, let do some more code in it. So we are here, and so here we can also use the Copilot by simply clicking on this icon. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Copilot chat. So from here you can do the further changes, add some color in background. Okay, so here you can see it also shows the file that you want to make changes in, but we want to make changes in style.css. So it automatically detects and you can change according to the file. So we can simply write like add some color in background of our website. So it's generating. Okay, and we want, I think we are like it's giving the background color light. We can give the background color dark. Okay, and let us to implement these changes. Okay, so here is the option to apply an editor, and it's applying to code block. Okay, so a lot of code here. So it just make the changes in the background color and asking me if you I want to accept these changes or not. Okay. Okay, so now see how the looks like. Okay, so it's look much better. So I think it's good. And now we want to deploy this website. Okay. So we are done with the website development using Copilot Workspace, Codespaces, and GitHub Copilot. Now we want to the deploy this website on Azure. So what we have to do? So first you need to merge the changes in your in your repository. So you are done with the changes, and so you have to commit these changes in the repository. So if you don't do this thing, nothing will saves. And code spaces written if you get back do the changes and forget to commit the changes, so code spaces will save the changes, but it will not reflect on your repository. So it will take some time and commit changes. Then in the meantime, we can do one more thing, that we install the Azure static web app extension. Okay, so it asking to add some commit message. Uh, it's some styling. Okay, so it's also asking me to trigger the Copilot. So Copilot will handle this thing for me. So for now, it's all good. And we want to merge the changes. And again, we have to sync the changes with the main repository. So, okay. Would you like Visual Studio? Oh, yes. And now go to the extensions and make our website live. So here is the extension. Okay, so extension install. Now go to the Azure. Like I have a lot of extensions here. So after installing the extension, you have to sign into the Azure and allow. And it will ask permission. Okay, so we can close this window now. Okay, and it will again take a few seconds in loading, and then we can what it's saying synchronize. So we can install this thing, but this is something you can ask for the Copilot, and Copilot will tell you the steps, but you have to do the signing to the Azure by your own self, because once you are signing to the Azure, then Copilot can work for you. But few steps you need to know how you can deploy using the code spaces to the Azure. So here you can see we install just static web app. So in Azure, you can see all the extensions. So if we go in any of this extension, you cannot see any of the resource under it because we don't install this service extension. We install the static web app service. So here you can see all the static web apps that I have created till now. Okay, so for now, we are all good and we have installed the extension. And if you don't know how to deploy your application to Azure Static Web App, you can ask the Copilot, how can I deploy my application? My application to, or yes, you have to write the clear instruction, my static application or my static website to Azure, oh, to Azure. So it will give you the instructions, and even Azure is like GitHub Copilot is connected with Azure and you're asking for to sign up. So it will take some time. So we don't have much time. But yes, you have an idea that if you just simply sign up for this, and then you just have to write the commands. You only know about the service name and you are all good to go. And like you just have to line of codes just like you write for your repository, and it writes all the code for you. So similarly it can deploy the whole application on just a prompt, but you have to sign up and then you can perform this thing, like simply just need to sign in and sign up, and then you are all good to go. But now for now we can simply see, like we install the extension, and these are the prerequisites. If you don't have the extensions, you need to install the extension, then Copilot will works. So we want to create a new static web app. So it asking me that Azure Static Web App wants to sign in using GitHub, and this is my account. Okay, allow. Okay. Okay, so it's asking me for the name of the website. So we can say demo website for now. Just hit enter. Then it asking in which region you want to deploy. So currently I'm in Pakistan, so the closest region is East Asia for me. So it is again like it is up to you which region you want to select. It doesn't like that if you select West Europe you cannot access your website in Asia. So it will be accessible, but it is for like according to the customer needs. If your customer base is of Middle East or of Asia, so you choose the closest region so that your audience can easily access the website without any delay. So we select East Asia. Now it asking that what is the tech stack or of our website. So you can uh, like any of the framework you are using, you can deploy that framework easily. And in our case it is simple HTML, and even you can also connect with Gatsby, Hako, and ViewPress, or even the custom site if you are using WordPress. So it is available for every type of developer, or you can say if you want to develop any type of application, this is the you have option for everything. Okay, so enter the location of your application code. So our application not is in any of the folder. So yes, okay, we don't have separate output. Okay, so we are just hit enter and it's deploying our website. So let's go to the Azure portal and see what is happening here. Like, does it really works? Demo repo. No, that is not here. Let's refresh. Okay, so here is it. East Asia demo website. So we can go here. So it takes some time in reflecting the changes, but it reflects. So where is our repository? Oh, I closed the code spaces. Where is my code spaces? We already have a code space. No, how's this? Okay, so we have code spaces here to see how it's going on, and here is our website that is deployed on the local. Code spaces is loading, and if we go to the repo again and see what's happening in the repo. Okay, so it's loading and see what happens here. So we just enter few details about our application and what names we want to give and about the location or application. Then our applications goes live. And what happens in our GitHub repository, that GitHub workflow file created automatically. And if you want to see in depth how your static web app pipelines look like, so I'm taking the difficult names. If you are the beginner, don't need to worry. GitHub is taking care of everything for you. And yes, so if you want to dig type want to explore more, so you can simply go here and see what step uh, GitHub takes to deploy the website. But we are here to see is our application is deployed or not. So here is the URL of our website, and boom, it is live on like we developed our website in just 20 minutes. So that's the best part about the GitHub code spaces with Azure. Like, you don't know where to get started with, and on the few clicks you created the whole website. Even you brainstorm the whole idea, like what project you want to develop and how you want to develop. It create the whole plan for you, and then make the changes, and then you made further changes and your application uh, is done. And then you can take the help from the GitHub Copilot, and it makes more changes, and it also help you in deploying the website. But in my case, it is not a sign up, or so if we go for the sign in, it might take some time in setting up, but you have an idea how it's working. So so that's how we can deploy our website or deploy any of the service. So that's the thing. And here you can see the details on Azure portal about your website, that your resource group, your website name is demo website, and here you can seeing the like mango sky like URL. So basically it's a free service again. So it's not give the name according to your preference. If you want the domain according to your preference, or you want to give the your certain requirements, you have to purchase that domain, and you can also purchase that domain using Azure. And little bit more about Azure, like you can add monitoring tools, like you can add a few more code in your website and see how many people is coming up on your website, or how that is going on, in or like everything you can do. Like here we are seeing the example of the simple static web app, but if you are creating the complex web applications that is operating a lot of performance, so that is here, that uh, is for everyone. You can do and make everything here, and you can see, you can diagnose and solve problems. Even you can see the activity logs of your application. So I think there will be no activity logs because we just created, yes. So here you can see that everything is in front of you on just few clicks. You just telling how you want the thing to be, and it happens on just few clicks on. And GitHub Codespaces and Azure is taking care for you guys. Okay, so that is all from the hands-on side. But another question is coming on everyone's mind that we initially discussed that we have free tiers, we have certain limit free tiers, and we have credits. So how we can estimate or manage our cost for the application? So here you can see as your pricing calculator. You are new, or you are just a startup founder who want to calculate or estimate the prices for the Azure resources. You can simply come up here as your pricing calculator. You can go to the products, or you can select example scenarios like CI/CD for Azure web application. So whole architect is designed for you. So you can learn more from this, or you can, if you want to see from the product aspects, you can also see from that, and you can if you want to save the estimates, you can also save the estimate and see in the future. So for now we have used Azure Static Web App. So web, and where is static web? Here, static web. Okay, so we are selecting free tier. So there will be no upfront or monthly cost. And the free tier include 100 GB of bandwidth per subscription. Okay, so just like this, you can search for the virtual machine. Okay, and okay, it's showing for the, okay, so here is for the virtual machine. So it add up the resources one by one that you select and make the estimate for each resource and give the total at the end. So from here you can select the region, closest region, and then so we can select let's suppose UV Central. Okay, so one more thing, some services are not available in certain regions, so you have to check on the documentation, or you can simply search for it. But in our case, you can simply like which category of virtual machines you need, how good instance you need. Like you can select from the A category, then we have B category, and then we have 750 hours for free on Linux virtual machine. And like you can select everything from here according to your needs and requirements, and at the end it shows you average per month, that every month you will cost this. And you can also select from the saving plans, or you can reserve your instances for 1 or 3 years. So here you can plan your whole application and resources accordingly. So I think we are good till now. And even the best part, if you want to explore from the scenarios, so we have CI/CD for containers. So you can also check from here and to estimate, like this is something that you are making your own budget. So you can if we delete these thing and just add from the scenario. So this is good for the startup founders that are at the early stage and confuse how we can design our website or set up CI/CD pipelines. So this is for the CI/CD for containers, and it added the required resources. And again, you can mm, change the resource or the type according to your need and calculate the cost that will be occur in your project. Or even if you are a FIP student, or even you want to uh, create a virtual machine for your gaming PC, so here you can come and see how much I can afford in the free credits. So you have $100 free credits and 750 hours free for the virtual machine. So here you can do the calculations and create your resources accordingly. So that's the beauty of Azure, that you can do calculations and make resources accordingly, and just on the few clicks you can develop your whole website. Even you can also train your whole model as well. So that is the another topic that is related to AI, but today we cover about the cloud computing and how cloud computing and code spaces help you in starting your project, helps you in playing the games, and also for the professionals who are joining us today, so they can see how easy it is. You don't need to know everything. You can use Copilot. You can ask for the help from the Copilot. It will give you the suggestions side by side on the same screen, that how you can troubleshoot. So don't need to worry if you are the startup founder and stuck in something. You just at the right place. Just write the correct prompt with all the details. It will give you the right solution. Okay, so we are at the end of the session, and Isabel will share all these resources in the chat. So how to get started with Azure, claim free credits, and also you can go through my Microsoft Learn module that is written on the same scenario that we have discussed today and the real world examples. So you can simply go through it and experiment by your own self. And yes, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect me on GitHub. You can follow me on Twitter, or you can send me a direct mail as well. So yes, that's all from my end. So is thank you. Are there any questions? So do let me know in chat.
Thank you, Mohammed, for the very insightful session. Personally, let me remove your screen. Personally, I was very impressed by how you could visualize a website in such a short amount of time. I mean, I think you mentioned 20 minutes, and I was checking and
Yes,
everything. I think that was impressive, and I see how a lot of students and gamers, like you said, could
yes,
benefit from all of these services. Um, and I think a lot of the questions we tend to have when discussing Azure for students specifically is the benefits, where to find more
yes.
information, and prices, which I think you covered flawlessly during this live.
Hmm.
I mean, you left us all speechless.
Yes,
Because yeah. But either way, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. I think you are particularly are a great person to hear from because you used to be a gold student ambassador and then you transitioned into becoming a Microsoft MVP. So I think if anything, you're the perfect person to go to talk about, Azure, the student program and the MVP program. So thank you so much.
you're welcome, and it's an honor for me to present to Microsoft directly for the first time.
Always. And with that being said, thank you to our viewers at home for joining us today. Like I mentioned at the beginning, don't worry if you missed any part of this live stream because the session was recorded and will be available to view on demand right here on the Reactor YouTube channel. So, without any further ado, we won't keep you guys any longer. And I'll just put a holding slide where if you could do us all a favor and fill it in so we can get feedback on the session and make sure that we provide the best content we can for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for
We
joining.
strive to create excellent content and would appreciate if you could take a brief survey by visiting the URL aka.ms/reactor/survey and use the event ID 24516. Once again, the URL is aka.ms/reactor/survey and the event ID is 24516. Thank you all for joining us today, and we wish you all a wonderful rest of your day.